Okay, back with another live stream. Sorry, fighting the allergies again. Let me check my preview over there on the laptop. Okay, I'll let it play over there for a little while, I guess. All right. I am finally going to get back to work on Mom's ASRock. You know, the AMD 8300 8-core build that I did for her, and I have Fedora 27 on it. And then I ran into the whole the addonbrowser.com add-on, the fake VTZilla, fake VirusTotal add-on that was opening up fake Firefox updates and other malware sites. And I was using Firefox Sync. I've used it for years, so it was on several different computers, including Mom's. So I went to, of course, I took it off of all the browsers, and then I went to scanning all of them for viruses, and I went back and forth with them all, and I was working on them for, I don't know, a month or two. Then I started having fan noise problems with my server, my IBM server, and then another one, and then my Red Black Bow store. Well, I finished it yesterday and got it back straightened out. I ended up putting the server out in the garage. Everything else I just put off until I could get back to Mom's machine, because it was just, you know, it's been like 2 months since I worked on it, I think. Maybe it's only more of a month. It felt like it. I was looking at the videos to kind of catch myself, go back, figure out where did I leave off, you know. And I think it was, darn it, I haven't used that stuff in years, but I use some generic Afrin, you know, sinus spray, and it's still coming back out of there. Sorry. Okay, so I'm going to try to get to work on Mom's machine. Now, before I reformat it, so I've got Fedora 27, I want to go to Fedora 28, because during all this time, Fedora 28 became it keeps logging out. I didn't realize you could do that on remote desktop with, that's Tiger VNC I'm using. Hang on a sec. Some of the VNC remote desktop servers will do that. You know, you can log back in. Some of them you can actually log in from the logon screen. Like if you have it starting up with the system, but some of them you can't. And I don't know. I remember there was one I had working like that, and then I don't know. I'm always changing things around, and sometimes I forget how I did something. Anyway, I do remember this. Well, I saw it. It came up. F8. This is Tiger VNC Viewer I'm using as well, because it works best with Tiger VNC Server, which I turn on with KRFB, the KDE app. Anyway, hit F8, brings up that menu, and then you can select, you know, full screen if you want to, and I want to. So got my preview set up where all I got to do is hit there's actual buttons for volume and mute on that Dell 6000 laptop. I can just reach up there and hit that button to check. Okay, so the first thing I need to do, I just realized, if I'm going to try to, I believe I have stuff I need to back. I want to check. I don't know. So I'll get in here. While I'm in here, I'll look and see what kind of files are on her system. Let's see. On her system, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I think I've already backed all this up, but, you know, like there may be new screenshots since the last time and all that stuff. So, and I think that I have lucky backup on this system too. Yeah. I don't remember which, probably didn't. Well, there's no profiles in there, so I must have done any. If I did any profiles, it was in super user mode, I guess. I don't remember that password. I'll have to look it up. Okay, looking here. There we go. Now, don't have any oh wait, if I import, no profiles in there. So I guess I just did it with Crusader then. Yeah, I must have. Let me look in the, make sure I didn't, because if you import the profiles, if you save a profile so that you can, export it, import it, save one so that you can import it later, you can't use the default name, so you have to rename it, and so then it doesn't show up. But no, that's not the case. So I'm going to use Crusader. Just do the sync mode because she doesn't have very many files. But what I forgot is, whoops, that's F9. F9 opens up a terminal window. I didn't know that. Good to know. That opened up, well, at least if you're in Crusader, it opened up console. Let's see what happens if I do it in another window. Nothing. Okay, so that's a shortcut for Crusader. Good to know if I could remember it. Okay, F8, get out of full screen mode. You got to get those commands figured out, those keyboard shortcuts, or you'll be stuck. Okay, because I just realized I got to unmount my backup drive. Let's see, I have Crusader running. Oh yeah, I just wanted to see if my backup video was making like it should. So I need to unmount it so I can unplug it and put it into her machine. There we go. Now let me get that done. Okay, sorry, I'm moving too fast here. Banging into everything, banging the head on stuff. Okay. If I would have been thinking, I got pretty good, well prepared. Everything else I got it ready. Anyway, forgot that part. Trying to figure out where to put things here. Okay, so now I've got I'm on the desktop. I was noticing that my preview is, there we go. I was like, I guess it's just behind as usual. I thought, was there something, is it froze up or something? Okay, so now we should have the Seagate. Let's go ahead and go back to full screen on her machine. Makes it easier for me to work without getting confused. Yeah, it's mounted just fine like it should be. So I'll have to do her screen name and then mine, or username. Screen name was for AOL, wasn't it? America Online, remember that? Okay, so here we go. Now, let's find hers. There it is. That's it right there. Pictures. Not very much in there. No, I can just hit. Well, I hate that I've got so much of this already set up. Now I got to do it again. I guess I didn't put any shortcuts in there for. There's some in there that I don't know why they're really in there. Pack and unpack and all that stuff. Maybe they were already there. Let's see. User actions. No. Tools. Synchronize folders. Right to left. Compare. Yeah, see, there's quite a few files in there to be synchronized. Well, they may be. Let's see. I always say confirm overwrites because you don't want to just rewrite everything, Well, you want to know. I want to know when things are getting written. Oh, yeah. Good thing I did that. That had never been backed up. Okay. And, or else I renamed it since the last time. That's always possible. Documents. These are, I have a lot of shouldn't have a lot of files. I can just do the whole entire folders. Downloads. What's in there? Nothing. That's one thing, though. If you don't look in there, you don't know what, you're wasting time trying to back up empty folders. So actually, documents is the only other folder. It does help cut down on mistakes. So if you go into the folder you want to back up, so I'll do it that way. A few files. Yeah, it's been a while. See, I've done it before. That's kind of obvious, but and I don't have a Thunderbird profile. I don't think I even have Thunderbird installed on it yet. Can't hit the right keys on the keyboard. I'm just trying to hit my up and down arrow keys, but I kept hitting the right and left arrow keys. Okay, I believe, let me kind of look it over. I don't think I have really installed. I'm going to go ahead and close Crusader on there. I really haven't. I don't think I installed a single extra app. Well, looking back, and I might have installed a few. Yeah, Chrome and stuff, Chromium and stuff. Yeah, and I don't want to use Firefox Sync. Thunderbird is installed. I didn't see. I guess maybe I've never opened it. I try to remember not to open it till I'm ready, till after I import or copy over, her profile or mine or whoever's I'm working on. Yeah, OBS. I installed a few apps in there, but did OBS so that I could do streams directly from her machine. Okay, so I don't think I need an apps list from this setup because it really doesn't have all the things I want, and it has a couple of things I actually won't want. So I think I'm better off using mine, using my apps list and my install script, and I'll just I won't use that whole group install script. I'll just use the ones I've hand typed, or hand copy and pasted or whatever. Yeah. Okay, and if there's any in there in mine that I wouldn't want in hers, then I can, take them out. But so now I'm going to try. Let's see. Let's get out of the full screen mode because I don't want to get stuck. I don't think I would, but I'm going to try logging out and logging back into mine. Because maybe it's possible. I know when it went to sleep there, it let me log back in. I didn't think that would be possible. No, we don't want to. What happened to log out? Suspend, hibernate, cancel. Well, that's weird. That's the button I always put up there. This is in Mate desktop. Let's see if there's a. Yeah, there it is. Log out. It's all by itself over there. I don't know why they did that. Switch user or log out. If you switch user, it uses more resources. So I'm going to log out. I don't know. Maybe I should try switch user. Got to decide. You got so many seconds. Let's try switch user. I'm thinking maybe it's less likely to break my remote desktop. So you know what? It's going to break it no matter what. Just realized. Yeah, it's broken. It's frozen up, I'm sure. My preview on my laptop is loading too at the same time. Sitting there reloading or whatever. So yeah, I'm glad I started to start streaming directly from her machine, and then I decided not to. So but I can see that it's make sure I'm still streaming okay and everything's good with that. I can see that it's I don't hear myself talking over there, although the stream looks good and everything. Oh, it's muted. That's one thing about doing that. It gets me confused easily. There we go, yeah. Mm. Okay. All right. Yeah, so obviously I've waited around here long enough. So I'm going to close the Tiger VNC session, and I'm going to have to go over there and get on her machine. I'll go ahead and get on camera too so that we can see what I'm talking about here. So I'll use my KVM switch to get over there on it. Yeah, see, it's logged out. That's something weird with the monitor when you do that. I don't want... it doesn't really switch users, does it? It just went logged out. That's all it did. So the switch user doesn't even seem to work. Did I ever install any other? No, I only got Make Desktop on there. I don't remember what I have for password on there for my user either. Okay. Now, get logged in on there, back mine up, and I want to try something too. Uh-oh, I may have to reboot to fix that video. That is really weird. I guess it messed it all up. I don't know why it would, but it messed it up because I have to reboot. Messed it all up because the KVM switch emulates. It's further old, you know. It's about 10 years old, and it emulates like probably 800 by 600. But that didn't look like 800. Oh, okay. It emulates probably 800 by 600 when you're not on that machine, and so your machine can't see your monitor. You know, it can only see what the KVM switch emulates. And see, now it's already back to normal. Since I'm on it still. I'm on that machine on the KVM switch. But it never used to do anything, but I guess the reason it stretched really, really wide like that is because I have the monitor set to fill screen. You would think, but it didn't fill the screen, so maybe, I don't know. Has some sort of limitations on how much it can fill or what. This system is running great. Not really any boot errors, I don't think, at all. I didn't have any on Fedora 28 until I started adding more stuff. When I added virtual boxes, when I started having some problems, and I still haven't fixed them yet. But I haven't had time. So many other things went wrong. But I sure do hate waiting for it to take an extra long time to boot up, getting past those, waiting for things to happen that don't work, and then getting past those boot errors. I've already forgot what my... Yeah, I wasn't thinking. I mean, if I'm going to switch usernames, then of course I got to open the VNC desktop server, the KFB app, again over here in my username, because it doesn't work for all usernames. That's one of the strict security features of Fedora is even if you're root, you can't get into the other users' files, folders, and stuff, you know, their home directory. And things like, you know, you're not going to have things like remote desktop server. I mean, there may be a way to make remote desktop serve up a bunch of updates, but I don't need them. I'm getting ready to reformat. But you're not going to, you know, it's not going to, for sure by default, do a remote desktop server. I never have set up KDE Wallet on this thing, so. And I got it, so it doesn't save the unattended password or any of that stuff. So I got to put it in there again. If you don't use unattended password, then you'll have to answer back on that machine that yes, I'll allow the connection, which is a pain. I already forgot what it said the IP address was. 197. It's the only problem I have with the KVM switch is the button doesn't stop work, on each machine very well anymore. It hasn't for many years. It started doing that years ago, but so it's pretty tricky. You don't push the button in all the way. You push it in about halfway to get it to hit where you want it to hit. But other than that, it's still working great. Okay, so back to the desktop. I got it. Got remote, KRFB running. So I'll get Tiger VNC up and going. Yeah, it's still the same IP address, so should work. There we go. Okay, so we should be ready to go back to work on backing things up. Okay. Now let's see if I put any lucky backup on mine. Maybe I didn't. I remembered that I did put lucky backup on one machine. I put a profile in it, to back it up, and I was trying to back it up with Crusader, and it was a pain because there was a lot of files. This is not the machine. I don't know what is one of the machines that I didn't think I had it on there. So now I'm thinking to myself, always check first. So now see, I have some videos in my username from when I was streaming strictly from this machine. So there's probably going to be some videos to back up here. Actually, I wonder. See what else. I might just get them all going, all the main folders, documents, downloads. I think it's just going to be documents and videos. Well, no, there's some. Don playing guitar. Well, actually, I put that on there just for the streaming. I don't know if that would hurt or double that. I don't know if that would double up my backups or not. I think I'm going to do all the main folders. Let's see. So let's order them that way even so I can see them better. Documents, music, pictures, and videos. Now I can right click and say synchronize selected. And make sure you select, which direction you want to go, and always recurse subfolders, especially if you're doing it the way I'm doing it right now. It works really well, but Lucky Backup it's better and faster. I don't know, better because it's faster, and but once you get it set up, it's setting it up that can sometimes be tricky and take a while. If you get it set up wrong, you can really make a mess. So I guess it's just whatever you what's easier for you to do, I guess, is what you'd want to do. But yeah, see, since I did it that way, oh, you know what? That's never going to work forever. I forgot. The reason I don't do that hardly ever, it's not because of how many, I'm going to hit stop, not because of how many files are in your, probably didn't even see any yet that need backing up. It's not because of how many files are in your, let's go to documents. Is in the one you're backing up from, it's the one you're backing up to that will make it take forever. See all those folders in there? And imagine how many and how big of files that you have to scan through in my videos folder. So if you're doing it with Crusader like this, then go into each folder, select the ones you want to back up and the one you're backing up, and then synchronize selected, and then compare. Look at that. There's actually nothing to do. Okay. All right. Now, this is seems like a pain, but it sure beats waiting. I mean, it could be well, in this case, it could have been hours. It really could have, because that backup drive has got about 2.5 terabytes of backups on it. Well, I mean, not in that folder, not in those particular folders though. But anyway, there's probably There's a lot of videos in there, I know that. This is music. This folder, I don't know. Instead of reading through, I'm just going to see what it says. It may just say nothing to do yet. And I always hit synchronize anyway just to make sure. Well, I mean, that's the way to find out. Okay, and then pictures. Sometimes I use the keyboard, sometimes I use the mouse. If it seems to magically do things, it's not magic, it's called keyboard. Keyboard shortcuts or keyboard work or using the keyboard or however you want to say it. Synchronize, nothing to do. Okay, so I must have backed this up not too long ago. Now the videos, that's the one I would think might have something in there. Okay. And I had worried when I started streaming on mom's machine as well as mine. I thought, or is it OBS Studio going to give out some of the same names that are already in there? But I kind of checked it first to make sure, and they weren't the same. Yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 videos. And so I kind of looked, I would open video on both sides and see if they were different videos with the same name. And they weren't, so I decided I could trust it. I wasn't sure, random naming systems sometimes aren't really all that random, especially years ago. They never really were. They just had like a naming sequence and they'd use it over and over. So if you're on different machines, same app installed on different machines, you would get the same, file names. One good thing about it is with the OBS Studio, it puts, let's see, yeah, okay, it has, 2018, 07, 17, and then some random number. Those are truly random numbers. I thought they meant something like the sequence of when they were, the minutes or maybe not the minutes, but just a sequence, but they're not in sequence, they're random. So, which is good probably the best way to do it because, well, what I would, once you get your video shot, what I would really like is the date and the hours, minutes, and seconds, plus like it says, what does it start with? Vid. I think it starts with vid or something. No, OBS doesn't. Yeah, it just says the date. I thought it started with vid. Oh, I think maybe my machine does and this one doesn't. But you can put a prefix. Well, I thought I should just put my name as the prefix. I don't know why I didn't do that at the start. I guess I thought I didn't. I don't know. I don't really remember. But now I want to do it, but I think, well, I should go back and rename all the other videos first, before I start doing that. You don't have to, but I used to work really hard at keeping track of all my video names. They all had descriptive names so that I would know what the video was about just by reading the file name. And I finally gave up because when I started making more live videos and stuff, especially when I started doing a lot of desktop videos is when I gave up because it was so time consuming to, you make a video, and when I was using GTK to record my desktop, you had to wait for it to render, and that would be anywhere from 10 minutes to 30, 40 minutes an hour, depending on how long you'd gone. Then, so you spent hours and hours making a video, then you have to watch back through it, see what's in it, and rename it accordingly, and I just got so behind on it, I finally gave up. So now I only go back and watch and rename the ones that are on stream to YouTube. Or if I have to upload one, like if something fails and I have to upload a backup, I'll go find it. I'll try to do it immediately so I know it's okay. It's today's videos, to look through. Because I also before I ever start streaming, I always make test videos, little short ones. And so you got to make sure you're not uploading one of those. It's just a screen test, Because if you don't, you will inevitably start streaming with a fouled up setup, something didn't work right. So there we go. So we got GTK record my desktop and OBS. And you can even try checking them again. Synchronize folders. There we go. Nothing to do. Okay. And as it opens up, OBS. See, I went ahead and made sure the folders had the same names so that I could sync the way I just did, and have it still be right. There we go. So it did work. Okay. So I think I have got the backups done. There's one other thing I want to try. I'm going to go through here again, kind of look through, make sure I didn't skip anything. Did documents already, didn't I? Sometimes I just completely forget what I've done 5 seconds ago. All I can do is just double check. I believe if I remember right, oops. Now let's go. See, I'll show you. You can't even go into the Theta folder, and you can try it in root and it still won't work. Most everything else on the system you can, pretty much everything else on the system you can, in root mode you could write it, delete it, whatever, but not the other users. You have to actually go in there to that other username. And I don't think it used to be that way in the older versions of Fedora, but it is that way for a while now. Music, I remember doing the music. I'm pretty sure I did the screenshots. Doesn't hurt to double check things. You see, I'm used to doing this, but so I usually do pretty well at it. As far as, I forget things, but about getting them in the right folders. I have many times over the years got them in the wrong folders. But yeah, you can put them in the wrong folders real easy if you don't pay attention. But it's best to do it that way because it'll take you forever if you have very much on your backup drive, or if you have very much on either side. It doesn't matter which side has a lot in it. Okay, so the backup is done. Nothing else that I want. Oops, still hitting the wrong keys. I want to go ahead and get this. Oh, yeah, now in mine, go back to where it was. I just thought of something. This one could have a few bookmarks, and what I'm fixing to do is also what made me think of it. This is what I'm wondering. I have not dared to turn on Firefox Sync again since I had the AddonBrowser.com malware threat. There was a whole bunch of malware Trojans that got into my browser cache because of it, from all these fake Firefox update and other malware sites opening up because of that add-on. It was a fake BTzilla VirusTotal link scanner add-on and it's made by AddonBrowser.com. And the last time I checked a few weeks ago, it was still in Firefox, and I did report it at least a month ago, if not more. As far as I know, they haven't done it. Unless they've done it since the last time I looked, they didn't do anything about it and didn't answer me. I didn't really think they'd answer me, but I thought they might take it out. And I saw a bunch of reviews. When I installed it, I didn't see any reviews. I think I saw one saying, "This is malware," and I thought, well, how do you know? They didn't say anything else. They didn't explain or anything. So I thought, well, somebody's a hothead. Well, they were hot because they had a right to be. So anyway, ended up, causing me to have to just go nuts and scan all my machines, and I decided to reformat them to make sure, because the malware is so prolific these days that if you get it, you may have it and still not know it for a very long time. And it has happened to me over the years back when I ran Windows. But the thing is it's becoming more and more cross-platform. I keep reading. I try to keep up. I didn't used to keep up with it a lot, but there's more and more malware that can run on anything. Linux, Mac, Windows, Unix, BSD probably. Linux. Did I say Linux? People still write about, oh, you don't have to worry about malware with Linux. Well, yeah, you do. You better pay attention, or you're really going to be sorry. You'll have all everything you got infected, you know. So anyway, I try to be careful, and if I see something that it's trying to, I try to, as they say, mitigate the threat, you know, before it gets to you, not after. So I did find plenty of Trojans in my browser cache on all the machines that had that Firefox add-on in there. Let's see. Let's go to add-ons. And of course, I don't have any add-ons in this one. It wasn't on this one. Well, it wasn't on in my username. I never synced it or anything. I just manually installed AdBlock Plus. Mom's username was syncing, and so how am I going to do this? What I was thinking is, since I'm going to reformat this system anyway, I thought I would try turning on sync in this one. I guess I could do it in mine and Mom's, actually. Give me 2 chances to see what's going to happen. And if it brings back, what I'm worried about is that bad add-on. If it's as malicious as it obviously is, it could have figured out a way, even though you uninstall it, to stay in your sync. Well, actually, I've never had this kind of worry. So, but I do know that if you uninstall an add-on on one machine, it will often stay in your sync and then be installed into another machine the next time you turn it on. That's just what I'm concerned about. And so if it's malicious, it might even have a way to block, you know, being taken out of your sync, and then every time you run sync, it gets put back into your machines. You know, not out of the ordinary for malware. You know, so my plan here, my idea here is to try running sync in this system that I'm getting ready to reformat. Once I've got everything, I've scanned it, I think more than once at least, to make sure it's clean. And so all this backing up, I wouldn't normally want to back up to my. I even spent days, 5 days or something, scanning. It took forever to scan the Seagate backup drive, and I scanned it to make sure it was clean. And so I've tried to be really, really careful ever since then. Let's see, I'm done backing up. That's what I wanted to make sure of. Okay, so let's get off of that backup drive, and okay, and get the backup drive out of there before I do anything that could, who knows if it could crawl on over there to it if something bad hits this machine. Now, so I got my backup drive unplugged. Now, I had actually been very careful I didn't even run remote desktop between these machines when I was trying to make sure they were clean, keep them clean, So I am doing remote desktop, so now I'm thinking, I want to do it on my stream to show what happens, but do I want to do this over remote desktop, or should I would have to stop this stream. I may do that. I think I'm fixing to have a break, so I may stop this stream and just start streaming straight from Mom's machine and do this enabling the sync, and see what happens. Without it being connected to my machine, because for all I know, network viruses are so common, have been for a long, long time. So this thing could do any of the malware that see, this add-on browser, if you could scan their site, they don't have malware on it, but it connects to malware sites. It opens up pop-ups of malware sites. Like I said, fake. And most notably, the fake Firefox update, which is no telling what that would have done to you if I'd have fell for that. and especially if you had a Windows system, what it would do to you, it might have already got you, period. All the Trojans that were in my browser cache on more than one machine after having that add-on on there, like when I scanned them with ClamAV and different, I forget what all, Bitdefender I think is the other one I used to scan the systems, you know, for malware. In the results, the only place I saw that malware, those Trojans and stuff, was in the browser cache, and I've never really seen that before. Maybe I don't remember. I'm sure maybe once or twice, but that's just not something that I see. Even when I scan an infected machine, if you get a Windows machine that's infected, it's usually all through the system files and all that stuff, not in your browser cache. I guess it would be if you caught it just at the right time, like right when you got infected, before it got deleted. But of course, I just manually deleted it, and then one by one, I've been reformatting the machine. So, yeah, I already feel like I need a break, pretty bad. So, that's what I'll do. I will. I'm just going to go ahead and close. I'll start on my machine. I'll go ahead and show how I'm going to do it. So I'll open up OBS Studio. Oh, let's see. Yeah, if I start this one as a backup stream, I see it's still setting on, it's still setting on Cam 2. That's the way I do it. I turn it on Cam 2, which is usually always pointed at the monitor, and then I have my audio is coming from my Wi-Fi mic on Cam 3, so you can see the signal there. It's all would work. So if I shut down the stream on my machine, it would automatically switch to this. As long first, you got to remember, hit start streaming first. If you don't, it won't work. And then I could do it. But what I'm thinking though is I'm going to just stream directly from this machine this time. So I'll just leave it like that so it's ready, and I will end my stream over here on my machine, and let's go ahead and get out of the remote desktop. I'll end my stream on my machine, and it's got me kind of confused. Oh, okay. Yeah, don't shut down your machine. Just close the. I get more than one. Okay, that's OBS Studio. Right, okay. It had me confused the way it looked. So this is, you got to make sure you don't close the wrong thing. So yeah, just go to there. I see the tiger icon. Let's see, close. There we go. So just eyes were getting confused there. So now I'm back just to my machine. And oh yeah, and what I could do is set this one up as the backup stream so that once I'm done over there, it'll switch right back. I think I will do that. So, but right now I'm going to just stop this stream and say goodbye for now, and then take a little break and then come back. And I'll be streaming from Mom's machine. I'll do my tests and see how that turns out, and then hopefully that's all I really need. I have lists over here, don't I? Yeah. Oh, that's not it. I have lists somewhere that I just got through going through and adding notes to. Excuse me. Might have heard that. Burped right up in my throat. Let's see. Well, I guess I'll look at it in a minute. I can't even focus. Can't think of what I'm. Can't read right this minute. Too many. I guess I'm too distracted on need to take a break here. Okay, so I'm gonna go, and I'll get myself situated and come back in a little bit, and do that. All right, it's Don. I'll be back in a little bit.